Hey there, I'm Kat, and this is Brews and Reviews. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys a TBR for the Bronte Readathon, which takes place in March, and I know what you're thinking. Catherine, your last video was a TBR for a readathon taking place in March. It was. Anyway, I'm going to try and do both of these readathons. So this readathon was created by Emily from Novelle Novels. I'll leave all the links to the information in the description below. There are 4 prompts, they're really easy to complete, and they really help me complete a few prompts and challenge me to read something that I have been putting off for years and years and years. So let's get into the prompts. Prompt number 1 is to read a book written by one of the Brontes, and this is the challenge that I've been putting off for years because I haven't read Jane Eyre. And it feels like a crime to have not read Jane Eyre. I don't know why. I just feel like having not read Jane Eyre and not actually knowing what the story is about, I feel like I'm lacking somehow in my formal education of Englishdom. It's weird that it never came up in any of the English courses that I did at school or university, but I'm gonna read it now. And it's like finally an opportunity to push myself to pick up a classic that I have obviously been putting off for a long time. So I don't know what this is about. The only Bronte book that I've ever read was Wuthering Heights, and I did enjoy that book. I know this is written by a different sister, and I know it's depressing. Can't wait to be depressed, I guess. I'm also going to be doing this as a buddy read with Emily, Danny, and Chatty, so this kind of feels like a fun way to access this classic thing, and I'm excited to finally be able to say next month that I've read it. So this book will definitely be being read, even if it's the only book that I read for the whole month. It won't be, but even if it is, I will feel accomplished. On to prompt number 2, read a dark book. So I actually have 2 options for this book. The first one is the option of, if I don't have time to read all of the books, then this one is a crossover with the Roll of Reeds, and that's going to be Immortal Dark by Tegest Germer. So this is kind of like my backup. It's a dark academia book with black vampires, and it has the word dark in the title. So I feel like it really counts for this prompt. But I kind of wanted to challenge myself a little bit, and I thought one of the ways that I could do that was to do a reread that I've been kind of dying to read for ages because it just keeps coming up in my mind, and I recently rewatched the film of this and I was like, ah, God, I love this film, but I love the book for different reasons. And it's Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. I'm sorry, I just love this book, and don't try and tell me it's not dark. The book is much darker than the film. It starts with a baby being eaten by dinosaurs. Dark. And there's a lot of other stuff that I remember being really cool and dark about this book, and I just really need to reread it. I never actually read the sequel to it, so I'm really considering picking that up after this one because I know it's going to go in a completely different direction to the second film. Based on where the book leaves off, as opposed to where the film leaves off, they're very different directions that they've gone in, and I really do actually want to pick up the sequel to this. So anyway, Jurassic Park, a dark book. Prompt number 3 is to read a book with siblings, obviously because the Bronte siblings famously wrote. And I'm going to use this opportunity to finish off a series that I've just weirdly not finished for some reason for ages, and it's Finale by Stephanie Garber. This is the 3rd book in the Caraval trilogy, and weirdly I just keep it on a list, never reading it. I think it's because I don't actually like this series that much, particularly the 2nd book. I really liked Caraval, but the 2nd book, Legendary, didn't really draw me in quite as much. I want to finish this series, although I'm pretty sure there's like a little novella, so I'm technically not finishing it, but we'll just pretend! Just pretend, okay, I'll read Spectacular when I read it, okay. But Finale. So this series follows 2 sisters, Scarlett and Donatella Dragna, and the 1st book is about Scarlett trying to find Tella, and the 2nd book is about Tella, and the 3rd book I think is going to be more about Tella than it is about Scarlett anyway, because Tella's got an ongoing storyline, and it's fine, though I don't love Tella anywhere near as much as I love Scarlett, and I was very mad that she wasn't in the 2nd book anywhere near as much as she should have been, but like maybe she'll make more of an appearance in Finale. Anyway, can't really tell you too much about this book without spoiling the previous 2 books, because this at least is very ongoing from the 2nd book. So yeah, I'm gonna be reading this one because of the 2 sisters. And you know, finally finishing this series. Kind of. And lastly, prompt number 4 is to read a book with a character or an author called Emily. And this worked out perfectly for me because on my 12 books to read in 2024 list, I have Hooked by Emily McIntyre. Obviously the author's name is Emily, so that covers the prompt. This one is a Peter Pan retelling about Captain Hook and Wendy getting together. Obviously they are not like old man, small child. It seems like James Hook and Peter are rivals, and his 20-year-old daughter is Wendy. So that's the dynamics we've got, and it is a dark romance, so obviously there's going to be some sort of seducing happening, you know. the standard. So I am excited to finally get to this one because Emily McIntyre has quite a lot of these books and I see them all the time and I think, that looks interesting, I'm intrigued, and I just haven't even picked up the one I own. And I refuse to buy the other ones before I've read this one to know at least if I like her writing style and how she actually does these fairy tale retellings and how she writes the smut. Because, you know, I don't want to be reading bad smut. Ever. Nobody does. I imagine they're not bad because there are so many other books that Emily McIntyre has published, but like, you never know with smut. You never know. So there we have it. Those are the books that I'm planning to read for the Bronte Readathon. I'm excited to take part in this as much as I am excited to take part in the Roll of Reads Readathon. Both of these readathons are going to be really fun. Also, I forgot, I'm going to be reading the new Hunger Games book, Sunrise on the Reaping, at some point in March. I don't know where I'm going to find all the time. Of course I'm going to find all the time. I love reading, but like, I don't know where I'm going to find all the time. If you made it to this part in the video and you just want to let me know you were here, then please leave me a dinosaur emoji. And if there isn't a dinosaur emoji, because I'm not actually sure if there is, there really should be if there isn't. You know, a dragon emoji will do too. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!